Today we've got a couple installs. Now that we bought this truck, we've got a couple things that we want to do. In fact, we got a lot more than a couple things we want to do, but we went ahead and started on a couple things that we did want to get done right away that this truck did not have. Truck buying process is kind of hard right now, as well as RVs, because the inventory is really low. So it was kind of difficult to get everything that we wanted, especially when we were doing a trade-in also, and we didn't have time to sell the car, and we couldn't get the price that we wanted out of the car. So we got the best available deal that we could get with the best truck that we could find. Now, there were a few spray-on bedliner choices out there. With Line X, they want to know, do you want the UV protection? Do you want a shiny? Do you want a flat? And they go over all these different things that keeps adding to your price. When I stopped talking to them, we were over $650, and so I called another company close that was Bullet, and everything's included. It had the UV protection. I wanted the fine. I didn't want anything too rough and didn't want it too smooth where things just slid around. So that was just $505 for that, which was a pretty good deal. You may be wondering what I'm doing and who is that in the back of our truck? Well, I was doing some research lately and I wanted to get a spray-on bedliner. And I wanted to spray on because I don't like the regular ones that sit on top. Moisture gets underneath, gets trapped underneath. Found this guy in Yucca Valley. It's called Jay's Liners. The best price I found, and had really good reviews, so thought we'd give it a shot here.
A two-part polyurea, heated at 160 degrees and sprayed at 2,500 psi.
Alright. Well, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest.
I had to come back in here because it's getting a little noisy out there. First of all, you have to take all the bolts and everything out of the bed, obviously, so you don't want those sprayed and made permanent. So he took all those out, and then now he's got to sand it. Just like when you paint something, you give it a good sand job so that your paint, or in this case, the spray-on bed liner will adhere to it better, and it'll stick. It won't peel off. So right now, that's what he's doing. He's going to sand this down really good. He does that outside so that the sand dust will go out through the air. And then he's got his so-called paint shop, kind of like a paint booth, that he does the spray-on bed liner.
Oh no, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no, this ain't easy, darling, 'cause the devil's on my trail. I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more. Oh yeah, I've been running so long.
It's got a standard piece of wire in there, so when I cut the material, I grab the wire, pull the wire, and it cuts out the line.
It ain't easy, darling, when the devil's on my trail. Oh yeah.
He's going to tape everything off, and that way you don't get any overspray on anything.
This here's my machine. It's an EXP1 by Graco. It's a reactor, and it heats the material up. The material's here, A side, B side, and then here's the hose. It's heated at 150 degrees. I don't have the machine heating the temp just now, but it's now heating that up. After 3,000 PSI, it'll pop and go over pressure, so I can't really heat it up until I'm ready. But the material is in 55-gallon drums. It's pressurized at 120 PSI, pushed from the drum pumps into the machine. The machine heats it up at 160 degrees and then pressurizes it at 2,500, pushes it out to the tip of the gun. And the gun is right here. It's a Fusion AP, and it's activated by air, and it's a pump that goes back and forth, and then 5 seconds out of the tip of the gun, it's hard like magic shell.
Takes how long to dry?
5 to 7 seconds for hardening.
Well, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no, I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no, this ain't easy, darling, 'cause the devil's on my trail. I've been running so long that my...
With the Fords, they have the seam here, and you can see sunlight. If you look down here, you can see some sunlight, and so I don't like, if I try to fill that in with my material, it'll be globby and it doesn't look good. So I seal it with silicone. It looks a lot better when it's sealed.
When the devil's on my trail. Oh yeah.
Pretty snazzy.
Well, when you do this,
yeah,
it makes a perfect line.
Nice. So that tape has a little wire in it, and when he pulls that, it gives you that straight line. Perfect straight line. Pretty slick.
The minimum thickness on a bedliner is 50 mils, and that's standard in the industry. And I like to go about 100 mils because I don't want to see anybody come back unless they have a new truck.
I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. Down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no, this ain't easy, darling, 'cause the devil's on my trail.
Really like how this turned out. Nice clean edges. And when Jay had mentioned that the industry standard is 55 mil and he puts on 100, you can really tell. When I feel the edges here, I can feel that it's pretty thick. He did do a really good job with this. I noticed that there was a tiny bit of overspray that got in on the inside edge of the tailgate here. Kind of seeped in. It was just a little bit. It comes off really easy if you use a plastic scraper. You don't want to use metal. You can scratch your paint, and it just takes it right off, and it's smooth enough that it doesn't scratch your paint, and it just takes that overspray right off. Then you can use a little bit of rubbing alcohol or something like that to get the rest of it off and wipe it clean. I like the texture. It's not real rough. Things don't slide around as easy on it, and I think we're going to really like it. If you're in the market looking for running boards for your truck, keep in mind, don't think that Ford is going to be way too expensive. There are some things that they are very high on, but when I was looking online, looking at Amazon, and looking at some of the, the well-known brands and some of the most popular running boards, I looked at the prices of them, and then I decided to go over to Ford and Ford Accessories and look and see what they had. Well, when you go to their website, you also get to choose your location, and you want to check every available Ford dealership that's in your area, because surprisingly, the prices will be different. So there was a $45 difference in the price from one Ford dealership to the other that's within 10 miles from each other. And then they want $75 on top of that just to install them. Now, I highly recommend you install them yourself if you're just the least little bit able to do so, because they're extremely easy. Just to show you kind of how easy these are to install, you've got these 4 bolts here. Those just line right up with your bolt holes there. That's pretty much it. You just bolt these up and then bolt your running boards on. The bolts are already there. Your brackets just line up. You just bolt them on and you're done. And one thing you want to keep in mind, some running boards have 3 brackets, 1, 2, and 3. And some of them only have 2. So don't go ahead and put your bracket on here if it's not going to fit your running board. As you can see, this running board has a place here and down here. So to center this up, the only way it's going to work is putting it on the far bracket and this bracket here. I got them for $405, which isn't bad compared to comparable models on an aftermarket basis. And these actually say Ford on them, so they're original, OEM equipment. So now what you want to do is put your running board on here. And there's 4 holes, but you only use 2 of those holes. So you want to slide this down and then use those 2 holes that line up. It's going to be this hole and this hole. And you got to take these clips and snap in here. These clips provide a thread for these bolts to latch onto. And that's all there is to it. If you're looking to put on running boards yourself, it's very easy, very simple. As long as you can get on the ground and get underneath there, you're going to be golden. Been debating on a Bedliner. I personally am a fan of the spray-on as opposed to the other lay-in Bedliners. They look a lot nicer, in my opinion. Thanks for joining us today, and if you would, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and give this video a big thumbs up, and we'll see you next week.
Let's call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.